Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brandon.
I'm Castillo.
And today we're going to be doing a video on how to diagnose a blown head gasket on your vehicle. So in our particular case, we have a 2000 Honda Civic EX, I believe. And we bought this car. We're trying to fix it up and keep it for ourselves. The guy was selling it for really cheap, and we managed to get a good deal on it. So he said it had a blown head gasket. We're going to show you guys how to diagnose a blown head gasket. This happens to a lot of cars, particularly if you overheat them. This will normally happen, but it could be a various amount of different things. So in our case, the guy did overheat on his way to work by not having enough coolant in it. So we're going to show you guys how to diagnose a problem, how to fix it, and basically how to tell if this is a problem with your car and not something else. So as of right now, we're going to try to turn it on. A lot of cars, you can't turn them on if the head gasket is blown due to the fact that it doesn't have enough compression. So what will happen is when your engine overheats, these blocks particularly are out of aluminum, so is the head, and aluminum is a very weak metal. So what happens is with heat, they can warp very quickly in comparison to iron blocks or steel blocks or another different kind of metal. But our case particularly, it is aluminum and it overheated very quickly. So we're gonna turn it on, see if it even turns on. Try again. So actually, the car's not even turning on in our case, although before it was turning on. So if it's not turning on, we don't have enough compression. Obviously, if your car is not turning on, it could be a multitude of other things. But in our case, since we do know the head gasket is blown, that's what it is. Now, if you have a vehicle with a blown head gasket, one of the easiest way to tell is maybe you're driving to work, it overheats, you put some coolant in it again, you get back on the road, and you get smoke out of the tailpipe. So it's a either gray or whitish smoke coming out of the tailpipe, and it could either be a little bit, it could be a lot. That's one symptom of the fact that you have a blown head gasket. And I can say, okay, hey, you know, maybe I should pull over and check out, see what else is wrong with it. So, other things to check, right? You can check your coolant and see if there's oil in the coolant. You can check if there's oil and coolant mixed together in your engine. So in our case, we're gonna check it out, remove the oil cap cover or oil fill cover. You're gonna remove it and we're gonna look inside of here. This is the same for every vehicle. All right, now you took it out, you're asking yourself, all right, what are we looking for? So a couple of things that could happen is you could have milk in the oil. So the oil and coolant will mix, they'll turn kind of white, greenish, it all depends. It'll become milky. Other symptoms could be blow by. If there's coolant or if the seal is broken, you have air coming through, it'll come to the top of the where the valve cover is, and you'll see the excessive air coming out. So in our case particularly, we look inside of here, we have, the oil is not milky yet, we have humidity in here. There is humidity in there that I can see. And if you look inside, the oil doesn't look too bad. But if you look in there, you can see there's humidity in there. So this engine hasn't had a blown head gasket for a long time, but it could be that we have some mixing in the oil. A lot of times it'll be a lot worse, especially if you keep on driving. And that's not good for your engine nor your bearings. You can blow a bearing like that, it could overheat. It could be a bunch of other things that could happen just because having water in your oil. It doesn't lubricate the same. That causes excessive heat in the engine. It's a bunch of things that can happen. So another thing you can do is check inside of your radiator. See if we have any oil in here. And if you look in here, one, it looks pretty dry. So that tells me that the owner before didn't have any coolant in it, or not enough. And I look here at the cap, and I can see there's like basically a black residue. See that right there? It's like oil. You can see it all around here. That's like oil. That's not coolant. Coolant shouldn't be like that. So that tells me that he did blow his head gasket. Yeah. So other symptoms could be is if you actually, sometimes this could happen. This is not our case, but you can have coolant actually running out of the water jackets of the engine. So right here you have your valve cover, exhaust manifold, intake manifold, fuel rail, distributor, radiator, condenser, transmission, and then here you have your block. So the block is the bottom half of the engine, and your cylinder head is the top half of the engine. And you have your valve cover. The head gasket goes in between the head and the block itself, and it belongs here. Now, if you can see that all the way around the whole entire car, if you see any water coming out of it or fluid, then you know, okay, that's another way of telling, okay, maybe I did blow my head gasket. Another way where you can really tell for sure is by doing a compression test on your engine. So you can buy a compression tester or rent one out at Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's. They have a rental program, you can rent them out. In my case, I already have one from the past, and I'm gonna show you guys how to compression test this engine and see if you have a loss in compression. Because even sometimes you'll try to turn on the car as we did, and there's so little compression that it doesn't even want to start. So to take apart the valves, the spark plugs, I'll show you guys how to do it. You can use any toolbox really, as long as it either has a 16, 5/8 or a spark plug socket, you can remove your spark plugs from your engine. This is at least for our car particularly. Other cars may need other tools. Now this is a regular little DeWalt set that we have. It's not very expensive. You can buy a cheaper set at Harbor Freight for around 40 bucks. We have a 3/8 ratchet, 3/8 extension, and ours actually has the 5/8 spark plug socket that has a little rubber inside. Although this one's been used up, so we're using a magnet to pull out the spark plug. Now, here you have your distributor, which sends the spark to your spark plugs through your wires. Now, these are in a particular order. Do not forget what order they come in. So you can either remove one at a time or all of them at the same time. Depends what's more convenient for you and if you're actually going to remember where they go. So we'll just take off these two just to show you guys. I don't want to bore you guys showing you guys a bunch of different spark plugs. I don't have to. So we're gonna take out cylinder 4 spark plug. Shouldn't be very tight on there. I would not recommend using an impact just because you can break the spark plug into your cylinder head, and that would cause you a very big headache. Unnecessary headache. All right. So here's your first spark plug. Now you can try looking inside of there and seeing if you see anything that looks out of place. But in our case particularly, spark plug is relatively clean. So this cylinder itself might not be the one giving us issues, but they are definitely new. So we come over here and our compression tester. You're gonna wanna find which of these ends is the right one for your car. Now to do that, should be the same concept for all of them, but you're gonna grab your spark plug and you're gonna put it next to the threads of the adapter. Now, when you put the threads next to each other, you can see that they line up. If they line up, it means it's the same thread pattern. It means that this is the right one for our application. You're gonna thread it in. Sometimes it helps to put a little grease on the end or anti-seize. That way it doesn't get stuck on there. You don't wanna torque this on very tight because you have to take it off again. But just enough where air will not pass through. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so now you're gonna have one of your buddies go inside the car and try to crank it on and see if you have any compression in that said cylinder. So with just cranking it on a couple times, you can tell that, all right, our cylinder has no compression. Cylinder 4 has no compression. So that means that all the air that is supposed to stay in here is coming out into the water jacket and the oil passages as well. Now we're gonna do it on our next cylinder and see if that one has any compression. Put the spark plug back on.
pisan como mierda. Do you imagine? Oye, no compression.
All right, now our socket got stuck in here. This happens sometimes. It gets stuck on the spark plug. That's fine. I'll get it out later. I'll just use a different socket for the rest of them. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You can get it out with a ply or anything, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Another socket that works is the 16 instead of the 5/8. At least for our engines, that's the case. So we already saw that cylinder number 4 had no compression. We're gonna check cylinder 3. You're basically gonna repeat this process on every single cylinder in the engine to find out where the problem is. Because when these heads warp, a lot of times they don't warp uniform. They'll warp on some cylinders and not the other ones. It's a very common problem. I only show you guys these two because I don't want to bore you guys with too much content. Check this one out. You can kind of see that it's a little wet on the tip. See, it's a little humid. Sometimes if you smell them, you can smell something kind of sweet. So they use coolant in it when it starts, I guess, overheating and stuff like that. And it starts cooking, it basically starts smelling kind of sweet.
Can you wait? Let me do this. Que se te olvidó por completo.
Screw it in.
And then you just snap this on, right?
Yep. So this is a quick attach. You just gotta pull back on it. No, pull back on that end. There you go. Snap it on. You got it. How you doing, buddy?
Stealing your tools,
Nice.
but I'm bringing them back.
All right, what compression did that cylinder have?
This compression cylinder has 29.
29.
And it's dropping.
Okay, yeah, not much. So that tells us that neither of these cylinders have enough compression to even start this engine. So
You said 29?
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're trying to make a YouTube video. Can you please fuck off? No, I'm playing.
29?
So
That's the bad one.
yeah, no, the first two were bad.
The first two?
We're not gonna keep going and showing you guys the other cylinders because we already diagnosed that this is our problem, although you can continue with your cars. So basically, there are a couple other things that can happen to these cars if you glue the head gasket on it. It's a bunch of different things. It's different for every single car. But what I showed you guys is basically standard or baseline of what it could be if this happens to your vehicle. All right, so now that I showed you guys how to diagnose a blown head gasket on your vehicle, hopefully if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Any other comments, things that can help us make you guys make better videos for you guys, stuff like that. What's up, man? How you doing?
Chilling.
All right, so yeah, and right now we're trying to flip cars and do some videos on how to teach you guys how to flip cars on a budget specifically. A lot of guys that don't really have a lot of money, you know, not really making a lot of money at work right now, whatever the case may be. With a relatively low amount of money, you can start flipping some cars, make a little money on the side, and have a good time at the same time with your buddies. So if you guys have any other video requests you guys want us to make, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Like the video and subscribe. That really helps out the channel. And hopefully we can grow to have a better car community. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.